Well, no, we'll stay the same. That's okay. So you might actually join this group here. Where's that going? Yeah. Oh, there is. Okay, welcome everybody. Today we're going to play a game today called Crush the Cup. Crush the Cup is the world's coolest pure coaching game. We're going to find out why very shortly. Okay, this is what we're going to do today. By the end of the session, the coaches should be able to identify their default coaching communication method. You'll be able to identify the coaching continuum skills that you need to improve upon. So this is about increasing your self-awareness as a coach, the things that you need to work on and where you are in the communication method as a coach. Okay, we're going to play a beautiful little game called Crush the Cup. Very, very simple game. The aim of it is exactly the same as golf. Okay, trying to get as few shots as possible to crush the cup. These are the rules of Crush the Cup. Start at the cone. So you'll see behind you, there's some Crush the Cup holes set up. You'll see the far side that you have a medicine ball sitting on top of a cone. The cone will be your starting position. So, for example, we have a cone, start with your foot on the cone. Pretty simple stuff. Most importantly, like golf, you play the ball from where it stops. Okay, so you can't walk with the ball. You must, where the ball stops, you stay, you start, and you try and get to the cup. Most importantly, the slide mover moves the slide. If the ball hits a chair or a wall, it's a penalty stroke. Now the ball must land on the cup. So, the ball cannot roll and hit the cup. The ball must crush the cup. Now obviously with a volleyball it's going to be a bit hard to crush the cup, but certainly with a medicine ball, the medicine ball isn't of course the natural enemy of the cup. The medicine ball will crush the cup without any problems. So, please, for me, can you tell me if you understand the rules? That means that you do understand the rules, you're not so sure about the rules, or you've got no idea what the rules. Can you give me an idea that you understand the rules? Great, I think I'm going pretty well in terms of what is a very, very simple game. Here's our activity. We're going to break into groups of 3, which we have. So we're going to have 2 groups of 4 here. One person is the coach. So one person will be designated as the coach. One person will role play as an athlete. So you're obviously the person being coached. And one is the observer. One person is going to observe who records answers on the sheets that you're going to be provided with. So you'll have some sheets here. You'll have to make up the third group. We'll have to show you the sheet. You'll have to record the answers potentially on your own piece of paper. We'll need to be flexible there. But you'll get this sheet and it will show you and tell you the answers that you need to be recording. Your role is then to crush the cup. Your holes are all set out. So this group, you will be on this hole. There's our starting position. There's our cup. This group, you'll be on that hole. There's the blue cone. There's our cup. And the third group, you'll be ready to go as soon as a hole becomes available. You'll jump in and that will become your opportunity. Okay, do we understand the activity? Not sure? Not sure. Okay. Your role is to be coaching. Your role is to coach someone how to crush the cup, how to be the best crush cupper, how to be the best cup crusher as possible, like any role we have as a coach. After you finish one hole, so immediately you finish one hole, then I want you to come back and sit down so that once the crush, the cup is completed. So your group only gets to play one hole. When you come back, these 2 groups, can start working out the data that we need. Okay, so who's going to be the coach in this group? You'll be the coach. Who's going to be the athlete? You're the athlete? Terrific. So you'll be the observer.
Okay, you want to try?
So you'll be the athlete. So you can stay seated. You can stay seated.
Okay, I can see.
Okay, so the other two people, you'll be observing. Okay? So, yeah, so you'll have two observers. Two observers. So who's coach here? Your coach? Who's the athlete? You're the athlete, so you're the observers. And these are the questions that you'll consider. So you might consider this question, and you might consider this question. Yeah,
Okay, so
yes,
I-
that's right, you can do it together. So you're really looking at,
Okay, I do.
and you might say, how much talking was done by them? It's up to you. Up to you. That's what the coaching is.
I'm actually just explaining.
You coach in whatever you like. So your coaching has actually begun. So you guys, who's coaching? You're coaching. Who's the athlete? You're the athlete. That means that you'll be recording. I want you to record how many questions are asked by the coach and how much talking is done by the coach, how much talking is done by the athlete.
Can we get a rules again?
Yep, sure.
一回止めます。
And the chairs were a penalty, right?
Begin as soon as you're ready.
Chair is a penalty stroke as well.
So can we have you off the chairs, please? Because that's in place. No, leave them there, leave them there, leave them there. No, leave them there. They're actually part of the golf course. So you can sit down here.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine to sit there. Let's start when ready.
Be near to the cup and just smash.
Yeah, and you might be somewhat near to it already with the first, but certainly as I said that the problem is the so just trying to see where you're.
Can we roll it or we have to?
There was no specification. That was another good point. You probably want to consider how do you want to technically
Because if you throw it, it might go in a
if
rolling it. What do you
exactly
think?
it's the best for you to find out what works best for you.
Oh, that's short.
No, yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry, that was a good start. So now we have two shots. The third one is gonna. How was the rolling? Now you know how it feels. Very good throw. Almost there. We're getting there. How many of those? Catch the ball. Actually, ball throw. You're going to make out of
Penalty.
Penalty?
That's an extra shot. You can still play from there, but that's an extra penalty. You love this game, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm in. I want to play.
Very good. One shot. That is.
You happy with that?
Yeah, you landed on the ball.
A penalty, huh?
So you happy with that? Great. Okay, your activity is finished. You guys take over.
As long as you get a penalty, it's a shot.
Considering my first golf experience.
I want to play this.
We are. We're up. Yeah, we're up. That's fine. You got your recording sheet?
Yep.
Okay, so let's see.
How many
Sorry, I don't have an extra. Would you mind with this? Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so what is my strategy is to roll forward. Yeah. Good job. I think we're going to aim just to the left there. So they're in the middle, okay.
Feel free to use it.
How many shots do you have?
Use that if you like. Yeah, no problem.
You just record the number of
Make
questions.
sure that how
Straight number.
you set it
Just straight number.
There's so much space.
Oh, we only did 3. Right, so, yeah.
Thank you. Yep, yep. So you can actually record and collate the information, or they can collate the information about questioning in that manner talk. So you've collated your information? Yep, thank you. No. You played golf before? Okay, everybody sitting down, please. Okay, everyone sitting down, please. Back into your groups, please. Okay, sitting down, please. Sitting down, please. We're all finished now. And the best thing is that you're all so non-competitive, you won't worry about who's won and who's lost in the one-hole challenge. But what we are going to do now is we're going to report back on what we found in terms of the coaching styles that we saw, in terms of... Sorry that I'm talking while you're interrupting. No. So what we're going to do now is we're now going to report back, and we're going to see what we found out from our coaching structure. So these are the kind of things that we were talking about. We wanted to find out how many questions. We wanted to find out what percentage of talk. So obviously what we have now is we have 3 groups, which will give us extra information, which will be excellent. Okay, so the collation from group 1, if this is group 1, so how many questions were asked? You can just tell me and I'll write it.
Sorry, one question.
One question, fantastic.
And his coach talk was 55% and athlete talk, silence was 45%. And where the athlete was, when he wasn't talking to the athlete was 40%.
Okay, so how much did the athlete respond? Have you got any essence of that? How much the athlete was talking? 45? Great. Okay, from group 2, what information do you have in terms of the number of questions that were asked? 6 questions. And 60 for the coach. And obviously the remainder is... So from group 3, group 3, can you tell me how many questions were asked?
4 questions.
So those when I said you like what I think about.
65, that's fine.
65, 35?
No, I'm not talking too much.
65 from the coach, 35.
No, 65 for the athletes.
Athlete was 65. Okay, terrific.
All I know now is gonna go. Sorry.
Sorry?
His athlete percentage would have been higher, but can we explain the pass just to clarify the pass? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, let's move on now because we're obviously limited in time. What we'll do now is obviously we reported back on the number of questions. And the amount of talk time. We should consider this continuum of coach communications and the options you have around your coaching. Obviously at this end we have very directive, so this involves things like instructing, giving direct instruction, giving advice, offering guidance, etc., etc. And at the far end we have more following interest. It's around listening, reflecting, paraphrasing, etc., etc. So what I want you to reflect upon, considering the observer's report, where would you plot the coaches on the coaching continuum? So if you have instructing at this end, so this is all instruction, so this would have been almost no questions, and almost 100% of coach talk would probably be a 1. Someone who was simply listening, was asking lots and lots and lots of questions, and it was very much about what the athlete was talking about, would probably be more towards a 10. So can you give me an indication that you understand the continuum? Do you understand the continuum and how you will score it? Not so sure. Or no idea. Okay, if you're unsure and you have someone in your group who is certain, can you communicate with them to increase their level of understanding? Okay, our second activity is I want you to reflect on your own coaching now. I'm going to give you 30 seconds and I want you to work out your own coaching style. If you were going to be coaching Crush the Cup, do you think you'd be more instructional? Do you think you'd be more questioning? How do you think that you would do it? So I want you to reflect on your own coaching structure. I'll give you 30 seconds so that you can come up with a number. Yes, surely.
Thank you. Thank you.
For the sake of the activity, from group 1, where would you have the coach on the continuum? The coach that coached Crush the Cup?
This exercise?
Yes. Yep, in that exercise that was done.
Making suggestions.
That where, in terms of a number?
A number is
5? Okay. So we had one of our coaches there from group 1. From group 1. From this group, what number do you think they would have? A 6? So they're more towards the questioning method. What number do you think that your coach in your group, what do you think? What number? 6? Terrific. So we had 2 that were there. In terms of your individual reflections, what do you think about your individual reflections? What we're not going to do is we're not going to have enough time to go through everyone's individual reflections, but this is an exercise in self-awareness, to think about how you coach. Most importantly, it's important that we have done that. Think about your default position, but most importantly, none of this is wrong. There's no such thing as wrong coaching. But what we do see is that 10 is more athlete-centred, 1 is more coach-centred. For me, the most important thing is great coaches can coach there, but they can also coach there. There is no right and wrong. I think that really good coaches have the opportunity to work up and down the continuum. So, finally, in the wrap-up, the most important thing is that we understand that continuum does not describe good or bad. It simply describes your ability to coach in different ways. And that good coaches can move up and down the continuum dependent on the needs of the athlete. And this is the most important thing, is we talk about the needs of the athlete. At some stage they need some more instruction, perhaps if they're beginners, perhaps if they're more elite, then they want to be more athlete-centred. So, finally, if good coaches can coach at both ends of the continuum, where are you? And what are the things that you need to work on in order to become a better coach? I'll give you 30 seconds just to contemplate that before we do our final wrap-up. 30 seconds to the things that you need to work on as a coach in order to enhance your skills to work up and down the continuum. Thank you for sharing the world's coolest pure coaching game with me. Arigato. That's it. Boo, over to you.
Just give you a couple of minutes just to sort of pack your stuff away and compose yourself, and then the other group can head to the other room. If you guys, I'm going to give you guys a minute to fill your cards up while the group gets ready to roll. Who's in this room?
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you. You are very didactic. Thank you for being honest about it. You're not didactic.
Oh, the, good, thank you so much.
Where do you want to do the group?
Got a memo today. That's right. Good to see I'm not alone now. Right.